You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. This is a New Year's Eve special edition. I'm going to talk about the best and worst couples of 2023 on Days, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts about my rankings and list. I'm sure some you'll agree with, some you may disagree with, and that's great. I can't wait to read your comments, even if you strongly disagree with me. That's fine. I love talking soaps with you guys. All right, if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. Now let's dig in. We're going to start with the best couples of 2023. We're going to have a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 will be the best couple of the year. Let's start with number 5. Number 5 is a couple where one of them is gone off screen right now, and that is Gabi Hernandez and Stefan DiMera. Now, I will say I wasn't enjoying their dynamic with being ruthless about DiMera Enterprises and that behavior, but I'm just talking about their interactions with each other as a couple. Gabi and Stefan love each other deeply. He is absolutely distraught that she is in Statesville. And of course, Clyde just had her attacked, which really sucks. And I feel strongly that we're going to have a recast Gabi back very soon because they've been name dropping her constantly. I just hope whoever is the recast has good chemistry because Camila Banus and Brandon Barash have great chemistry together. Stefan and Gabi are ride or dies, and that's why I love them. That's why I put them on my list. My number 4 couple on the best couples of 2023 is the oldest couple in Salem. It is Julie Williams and Doug, and I just love them together. You know, Bill Hayes is the oldest working actor on the soaps. I love any time he shows up. He's not on as much as his wife, Susan Seaforth Hayes, is. If you're a longtime Days watcher, of course, you know they're married in real life. And they are just this couple with staying power. And they're sweet, but not ooky sweet because, you know, Julie can be really salty about a lot of people. She is a firecracker. Doug is this beautiful peacemaker, but I also loved last year when he was possessed by the devil. That was a whole lot of fun and really gave him room to play. I just love them as a couple, and I hope we have them for many years to come. That's why they're number 4 on my list. Number 3 on my list is another couple that has been broken up because one of them is off screen. That is Dmitri Von Leuschner and Leo Stark. You know, Days does a good job, I think, with LGBT Q relationships and things like that. Dmitri and Leo, I think, are my favorite gay couple they've ever had. Dmitri is so hot, like burn your retinas hot. And it's funny because Leo recognizes that Dimitri's kind of out of his league in a lot of ways. Not that Leo's not handsome, he is, but you know, it's not like he's fit like that. Come on, Dmitri is eye candy for any and everyone. I loved their dynamic. You know, I think it was fun where they were fooling around behind Dimitri's fiance, then wife Gwen's back. That was a lot of fun. But then we saw them really falling in love with each other. And I feel like it was a very sincere love and that they were head over heels. And it was kind of a bummer when Dmitri was sent off to Supermax and Peter Porte was off the show. I don't see him coming back anytime soon. I'd be happy about it if he got out of Supermax, but he's done so many bad things. It's hard to imagine him coming back around. But I love them, and that's why they're my number 3 couple. My number 2 best couple of the year, EJ DiMera and Nicole Walker. You know, EJ is a mostly reformed, very bad guy. Nicole is a mostly reformed, very naughty girl. And I love them together, especially since Sammy Brady's not around. EJ needed a love interest. He and Nicole have really built their relationship up and they've learned to be more honest with each other. They're dealing with the grief right now, thinking that their baby died. He defends her. He champions her. He, is very understanding about her grief. Even when she walked away with Eric and Sloane's baby, he was still very gentle with her. EJ can be awful to pretty much everybody else in Salem. The only people he's generally nice to, he's mostly nice to his son, Johnny. He is super sweet to his crazy mom, Susan Banks, and he is utterly devoted and so sweet to Nicole. And Nicole seems to be head over heels in love with EJ, even though part of her heart still belongs to Eric. So I just really enjoy EJ and Nicole. I think 2024 is not going to be a good year for them. So if they're a couple that you like, I hope you enjoyed 2023 because I think it's all going to go to poop next year. My favorite couple of 2023 in Salem, Sarah Horton and Xander Cook. Honestly, they could pair Xander with anybody with, a lamp or a statue from the Kiriakis mansion, and I'd be there for it. I love Paul Telfer. He is my favorite actor on Days of Our Lives. But over and above me just liking him as an actor, he is so smitten with Sarah Horton. He loves her so much. He loves her to the bone. I enjoyed his whole interlude with Chloe. I thought they were great. I didn't like that they got engaged, but because I knew that she had been cut back and was leaving, I wasn't too worried about it because I knew they weren't going to get married. I liked him with Chloe, but I love him with Sarah. They are about to move in together. They are co-parenting. I think they're going to get married. I think 2024 is going to bring them all the happy things, all the happy endings, and he's going to find out he's really Victor's son, not Alex. So it's going to be fab, and that's why they are my top couple of 2023. Now let's talk about the worst couples. And before you scream at my number 5, I want to say it's not their fault. So my number 5 worst couple of 2023 was Beau and Hope. Not because I don't love them. I do love them. Here was my problem with them in 2023. Days teased us. They said, oh, Beau and Hope are back. They did a promo showing their past of them in love and all this. So we think, oh, they're coming back. They're going to be a couple. They're going to have this reunion. And then we have Beau basically brain addled because he's been in a tube for more than a decade, thanks to Megan Hathaway. And he wasn't in his right mind. He was busy trying to be a Kiriakis, and he was horrible to Hope. And then we just almost had that reunion where he saw her and he's like, fancy face. And then Sean shot him. And then Beau's been in a coma. It's not that I don't love Beau and Hope. I do love Beau and Hope. I would like to see them back together. But because Days gave us none of that, for me, it was my number 5 worst couple of the year. So don't yell at me about it. It's just that I really wanted them together, and I think all of us did. And I think a lot of us were really unsatisfied with how that went. My number 4, I'm torn between 4 and 3 on how I rank these, but I'm going to stick with my numbering system. Number 4, Eric Brady and baby stealing Sloane Peterson. I do think Sloane, to some extent, loves Eric, but I think it's more that she doesn't want to be alone, and she is just glommed onto him. As for Eric, I feel like he just must be simple in the head these days to say that he loves her. He loves Nicole. Let's be clear on that. I think with Sloane, she's just a consolation prize. I don't think he really loves her. All the lies, all the stuff she's doing behind his back. And in a way, the stuff he's doing behind her back too, because he's, agreed to that paternity test with Nicole without checking with Sloane. And then after Sloane said, I don't want Nicole around our baby because she stole him, he sits down to brunch with Nicole with the baby. I mean, looking in on it, yeah, okay, that's Nicole's baby really. But as far as Eric knows, it's definitely not Nicole's baby. So he sat down to brunch with his baby's kidnapper after his wife said, I don't want her around the kid. So they're both just completely not being real with each other. I think Eric is lying in deed, and Sloane is outright lying. And that's why I think they're one of the worst couples on Days in 2023. My number 3 worst couple, Chad DiMera and Stephanie Johnson. Chad never should have been dating her so soon. He's clearly not over Abby. I am so hoping that we're going to get an Abby recast and Chad's going to get her back. Maybe that's who Anna Lynn McCord is playing. We'll see. I think she might come back maybe with some amnesia, and then I might be happy about it. But We all know Chad and Abby were endgame, and Chad and Stephanie, that's a placeholder. He got involved with her too soon when he wasn't in a good place to be involved with someone. And then he accelerated their relationship, moving her in with him and the kids, which put her in a mother role with his children who were grieving the loss of their mom. And then when Stephanie walked out, she didn't even say goodbye to the kids. She said she felt bad about it. Of course, the kids were like, oh, okay, it's fine, because, they're kids and kids are resilient. But it was still awful. Everything between them to me felt forced. It was almost like Chad wanted her because Alex wanted her. And then he really wanted to hang on to her because Everett wanted her, even though he wasn't ready to commit to her. It's just a mess. I just didn't like them for most of the year. So that's why they're number 3. My number 2 couple that I really didn't like on Days this year, Teresa Donovan and Alex Kidiakis. Teresa is just trouble with a capital T. That is what the T in Teresa stands for, is trouble. And her and Alex, he's hot. And I think she is convincing herself that she wants to be with him. But we all know she really wants Brady. And we know that Alex really wants Stephanie. And the person he loves most is himself. So the pairing is horrible. It's going to go down in flames when Alex finds out that Teresa is the one that rigged the will, that ripped him away from his dad, Justin Kidiakis. I hated at Christmas that Alex was calling his dad Justin. That's been his dad his whole life. This Victor thing, even if it were true, was just DNA. Justin is the man who raised him. Justin is his father. I thought that was pure poop for Alex to call him Justin, just by the way. And Teresa was just the worst, to sit there keeping her mouth shut when she knows she's ruined their relationship. Teresa's a piece of work. As far as I know, Emily O'Brien is still filming as her, so I don't think Teresa's going anywhere anytime soon, but I hope she and Teresa break up very soon. I know once this fake will thing comes out, they will. So for so many reasons, they are the number 2 worst couple. So I've covered all these couples I know you guys, a lot of y'all don't like. So you're probably thinking, who could be worse than Teresa and Alex? Well, I can tell you that real quick. Maggie Horton and Constantine Melionis are the worst. Now, they're not a couple in as much as they are not involved. Maggie has been holding him at arm's length, but Constantine is pretending that they're a couple. He's doing all he can to make them happen as a couple. He's flirted with her. He's kissed with her. He's conned his way under her roof. He's giving her tablecloths of dubious origin, and he has set his sights on marrying her because he thinks Victor owes him, and he thinks that's the only way he can get a slice of Victor's millions. So if you ask Maggie, they're not a couple. However, Maggie keeps letting him tag along as her +1 to everything. She brought that creep over to the Horton house for the ornament hanging. She let him hang around on Christmas, and then of course he faked spraining his foot. Thankfully, he's kidnapped this next week. I'm guessing that the Black Patch guys do it. Maybe they won't let him go. Wouldn't that be great? So even though they're not explicitly involved, Constantine's definitely trying to make them happen as a couple, and they are easily, for me, the worst pairing on Days of Our Lives in 2023. All right, that's the couples. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm sure you have some thoughts that differ from mine. I love it. I love reading your differing opinions. It's a whole conversation. Definitely click subscribe if you haven't, and come back soon, because I'm here talking Days of Our Lives 7 days a week. And as always, this has been Belinda from Soap Dirt. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.